took everything that I had, yeah. Walked away, but you left one thing behind. You're wondering just what that is. Yes, you are. Well, the world stops spinning around, I'll be rocking. When the wall comes tumbling down, I'll be there. When the world stops spinning around, I'll be rocking. We're gonna make a little love down by the water. Maybe have a son, maybe have a daughter. When the music man calls, that's when I gotta play. So I burn for the things I never had. Hey, with love. As a boy, I had a dream. Carry it with me today. Yes, I do. When the world stops spinning around, I'll be rocking. When the walls come tumbling down, I'll be there. When the world stops spinning around, I'll be rocking. When the world stops spinning around, I'll be rocking. When the wall comes tumbling down, I'll be there. Hey, 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 hey. When the world stops spinning around, I'll be rocking. When the world stops spinning around, I'll be rocking.
Giottos is so good. These chocolates are what? Chocolates? We're here about astrophotography. What are we doing? Wrong video. Whoops.
Over me, got a way of your own. But I told you that life ain't a fantasy. Now I watch you every day. Turn it up, it's just your way. Rocket fuel runs through your brain. Like I told you on the train, that it's the only thing she knows. The only thing she knows. The only thing she knows. That it's the only, 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 only thing she knows. She knows. So it started to rain. Met a woman with eyes like a hurricane. Told her she was the one. And she looked at the moon, calling me and said, now I watch you every day. Turn it up, it's just your way. Rocket fuel runs through your brain. Like I told you on the train. Well, it's the only thing she knows. The only thing she knows. The only thing she knows. That
on my telescope now. Damn, what's wrong with this thing?
Another lost Lone Ranger. Can I break this spell? You want them right? Do I make you do things wrong? If I want that fine line, I will always take the fall. If I don't do left, I can live from the right. I sleep all day long, and then I'm dreaming through the night. I've seen a lot of bankers, and I've seen a lot of cops. I've seen a lot of lawyers pull out all the stops. I've seen a lot of children with their parents in their hands. I felt a lot of women refuse to understand. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. You see it in the papers, you read it every day. The riots and the fires going on in South LA. The muggers and the government, they're all wanting the same thing. They take all your money, with every spring. And I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. Take me. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. 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 Guitar Players Planet.
It's gotta mean something. It's gotta.
Sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way the music has touched my soul, the way that the South holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the lands of the new. Oh, na 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 na. That I have lost my friend. Got the sunset off the highway again. Then I get lost on a long summer day. I must go back before it's too late. You're afraid, you're feeling alone. Time and space can never unfold. The holidays can ring in your fear. The ghostly embrace can only mean tears. And I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back for lands of blue. Oh, na 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 na. Sitting at the lake, I'm feeling confused, but I had my guitar, so I played this blues. But I'm afraid, what might be true, that I might never be back again. Seems to me that I've lost my friend. Got the sunset off the highway again. Then I get lost on a long summer day. I must be back before it's too late. Before it's too someone to take me down at night, someone to make my day. New revelation fills my soul. Oh, I can waste away. You distracting my attention. You're all that's on my mind. You not looking for perfection, but you're too hard to find. Now the first night is coming, and I know what to do. You know that nothing feels sweeter than someone else.
So it's a wonderful night tonight. It's really good. You know, cloudy nights and not cloudy nights, but clear dark sky and you know, was it clear outside? Says it's going to be a wonderful night tonight. I mean, tonight, last night was wonderful. Tomorrow's supposed to be great. So I think I'm going to leave my telescope out all night, and it's going to be a really nice night tonight. So I'm hoping to get some really good shots of the Cave Nebula, which is part of my astrophotography meets D&D imaging. I know it's kind of looks scary, like the way I look at my eyes, kind of crazy. It's pretty cool, but I'm super excited for tonight, and let's see what kind of data I got. Well, yeah. Dirty. I swear to God, these clouds are just pissing me the off. I don't understand. I don't listen to these things anymore. I can't take it. New York, you suck. And you know what? I'm so done with all this. My telescope's out here, chilling out, and all I got is freaking clouds and PhD beeping at me for no goddamn end. Unbelievable. What am I going to do? I need to move. I'm so finished with this. I hate this.
Took everything that I had, yeah. Walked away, but you left one thing behind. You're wondering just what that is. Yes, you are. Well, the world stops spinning around, I'll be rocking. When the wall comes tumbling down, I'll be there. When the world stops spinning around, I'll be rocking. We're gonna make a little love down by the water. Maybe have the sun, maybe have a daughter when the music man calls. That's when I gotta play. So I burn for the things I never had. I'm burning with hate, with love. Spin around. 'Cause as a boy I had a dream. Carry it with me today. Yes, I do. When the world stops spinning around, I'll be rocking. When the walls come tumbling down, I'll be there. When the
Giottos are so good. These chocolates are what? Chocolates? We're here about astrophotography. What are we doing? Wrong video. Whoops.
Over me, got a way of your own. But I told you that life ain't a fantasy. And I watched you every day. Turn it up, it's just your way. Rocket fuel runs through your brain. Like I told you on the train, that it's the only thing she knows. The only thing she knows. The only thing she knows. That it's the only thing she knows. She knows. So it started to rain. Met a woman with eyes like a hurricane. Told her she was the one. And she looked at the moon, calling me insane. Now I watch you every day. Turn it up, it's just your way. Rocket fuel runs through your brain. Like I told you on the train. Well, it's the only thing she knows. The only thing she knows. The only thing she knows. That it's the only thing she knows. Got up on the wrong side and I'm getting burned again. That grass is looking brown today. Well, it's the only thing she knows. The only thing she knows. The only thing she knows. That it's the only thing she knows. I woke up on the wrong side and I'm watching burned again. That grass looking brown today. Said it's the only thing she knows. The only thing she knows. The only thing she knows. That it's the only thing she knows. 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 That it's the only thing she knows. She knows. She knows. She knows. What the hell's wrong with my telescope now? Damn, what's wrong with this thing?
The lost Lone Ranger, can I break this spell?
And it started in the middle, so I mean that's okay. What's going on, everybody? What's happening?
What's up?
Eric, I didn't even know it was Wednesday. Actually, Jackie called me and said, she's been working with their focuser, and I was like, she's like, I'll see you later tonight. I was like, what do you mean? It's Tuesday. So,
The holiday, man.
no, it's a damn vacation. I'm on vacation from work, so let
Oh,
so days are kind of just
jumping
mushing
together.
together. Yeah, exactly. I don't even know what day it is. I almost didn't even show up. So thanks, Jackie, for giving me a heads up. There's a show tonight, but
There's a
uh
show.
yeah. So tonight we're talking a little bit about calibration frames, I think, and unfortunately,
Yeah.
my plan yesterday didn't work out as well as I wanted it to. I was trying to get some fresh flats and everything because my system has been literally off offline for like 8 months. So I don't have any flats to show anybody. I have some old ones that I can show, but I can't really kind of calibrate them and do a calibration. It was a big mess. So yeah, so I could show a little bit of something, but before we do that, I did do some changes with some of this. Here you go. Check this out. I did. Let's see, where is it? Because we like to say thank you to all the people that actually helped us, and we got a wonderful donation, and I'll leave the person to remain nameless. For our, I guess it's for our 350th show, which is tonight. Tonight's our
Yeah,
350. So
350.
tonight,
Are you not
congratulations.
entertained?
Yeah, well, you will be when Gladiator 2 comes out, which is
Oh
probably going to
God,
tank.
no.
I'm not. Why ruin it? Why do you got to ruin such a good movie? But whatever the case may be. Um, yeah, today's 350. We got a really nice donation of $500 um, from.
What?
Yeah, I actually emailed the person to see if that was for real or a mistake because it's our largest donation by far for what we've done. So thank you to that person that donated to us. It was legit, and it'll go towards something. It'll definitely go towards
Oh,
something.
it'll go
But
towards something for
yeah,
sure.
and
But
maybe
wow,
next year's NEEF or something. I don't know. Maybe a giveaway.
absolutely.
I don't know. Well, we got to give back to the peoples.
And
Um,
that's it.
and so that being said, I made some changes to the way the scrolling thing goes by. My Photoshop kind of my Premiere Pro got canceled, so I don't have it anymore. So I had to make some new stuff. So these are all the people that are members of Astroworld via either YouTube membership um or Patreon. So we
Okay.
do have our Patreon. We do have YouTube. So if you're so inclined to buy us a cup of coffee for the stuff that we do every week, feel free to hit us up on Patreon and look it up, Astroworld TV, and you could become a member and get some good perks, some free stuff, and all that. So thanks everybody for sticking with us for the past 350 episodes. It's been a really really great time, and I'm hoping that I think there's one more group. Yeah, the Protostar members. We have over 50 members that are with us from either YouTube or from Patreon. So thank you to everybody. I think I got everybody this time. Really great time. So thanks everybody for coming in and supporting us. So
No, absolutely. I can't thank everybody enough, just for hanging out with us, and do us a big favor. Continue to support us by letting, YouTube and Google know that, hey, we're here, by simply just clicking on the like button, giving a thumbs up, leaving comments in the chat. We really appreciate that. Appreciate all the feedback and the continued support. So, yeah, that's all I can really say.
how was your Memorial Day?
It was good, all things considered. It was you know, it was pretty cloudy up here. We only had one good day, which was Saturday, and I had to work on that day. But besides that, it turned out really well. So I can't complain too much. And was able to get actually some imaging, you know, processing completed. So I haven't even posted it onto anywhere. I haven't even posted it anywhere yet. And but I'll share it here if real quick
Yeah, no
and
problem.
let everybody um, give it the premiere. So let me just share my screen here.
Hey, there you go.
Yep, and share, and let me go here. So there it is. You guys can
The
see that.
dumbbell. There you go.
The dumbbell, so M27. So this was all pretty much all done in PIXINSIGHT. I am working on something here really quick with an APP using the same the same data that I gathered. But yeah, this was all done within PIXINSIGHT, WBPP, using Graxpert. I usually go down this entire list, you know, correcting the stars with blur exterminator, image solving, and then combining everything again, calibrating with with SPCC, then doing another blur. Then sometimes I'll do a noise reduction, sometimes I won't. But then hopping into stretching, doing some stretching, then going back in, then I'll rip out the stars and then do some noise reduction. At least maybe once, maybe twice, it depends. Combining, if I need to do any combinations, then I'll make my mask. Thanks to Sean, showing me about the ACDNR and creating that lightness mask, which really helps out. So doing that, doing some contrast, maybe doing some HD multi-scalar transform if it needs it. I'll take a look at that, curving it, sharpening it. And then one thing I started doing now is doing the whole finding chart process. So I may incorporate that into my website where I can do the whole finding chart thing and put that into the website along with the image. So that was one thing I did, and adding the profiles and stuff like that. So I was trying a couple different ways to do this as far as combining. But this is narrowband data, oxygen and hydrogen, as well as doing RGB for the stars. And in total, I want to say this was since it's relatively a close object, it was in the magnitude is pretty good. So it's pretty low for it being for it to be a planetary nebula. It only took probably 3 hours, maybe 4.
What kind of palette is that?
This is HOO and RGB with the RGB stars.
Yeah, I was wondering
so
I was wondering how it was so blue,
yeah. So this was RGB, and then using HOO and then combining them with a couple of the scripts. What scripts did I want to say I used? Like the narrowband RGB combination script was one, and then I used screen stars to bring back in the stars. But yeah, those were the scripts that I used. Why? What are your thoughts as far as, because I'm always up for
I like it. I just wanted to know how you got that blue color.
Yeah. So curious on what others say, but very nice dumbbell, thank you guys, appreciate that. But yeah, it was a big green, me using the SCNR, ripping out the green.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, but it was basically just one night of imaging. So it doesn't take, with this planetary nebula, it doesn't take much. So, and even looking, at looking at Astrobin and others, and how even how long their integration times were. Like I said, about 4 hours or so. If I take a look here, let me look at the project. Not even that. So it was 30 second for RGB for the stars. So each filter was 30 times 30 seconds. So that wasn't long at all. And then 3 minutes, so 30 minutes on each one. I can't even spell. So 30 minutes per narrowband, and that, so not maybe 2 hours then. So not quite 2 hours perhaps. So yeah, I'll go ahead and overwrite everything and let it do its thing. Cool. So yeah, that was it. So that'll be going on the website soon, naturalwitheric.com. So and kill that. So yeah, so now I'm trying to decide on what am I going to point the Schmidt at tonight, because I've got tonight, and when I'm looking at it, tonight and maybe tomorrow are some pretty good nights.
My mic just died again for some reason. I don't know why.
It died?
Yeah.
Tom saying, yeah, I need to play with that in the new image script. Yeah, I want to play with that new image script. I haven't had a chance to really play around with that much. So yeah.
That's not gonna work. I don't know what happened here. Anyway, so we're here. We're supposed to talk about calibration frames tonight, if I remember right.
Oh, your mom's on. So
yeah,
congrats on
hey, Ma.
that fabulous shows. So thank you. Appreciate that. It's awesome.
Let's see. I gotta.
So yeah, I mean, the weekend was good. I was so pooped from Saturday working that I even forgot to do, the whole thing on the image of the week. So apologize for that, guys. But I see that we've got four entries that I have to update, and I'll get the poll up, after the show. So that'll be ready so everybody can start voting soon after the show's over. So just keep an eye on that. So don't forget to go to astralworldweb.com/IOTW. Maybe a half hour after the show's over, and the new poll will be up for the final image of the week contest for May, since our last day of the week, is actually the last day of the month. So
Yep.
we will have we'll have 5 entries in for May. So
yeah. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I was able to hear you just fine.
No, I had to switch over mics. It was not one. Close the door now. There we go. Got the crappy mic on now, fellas. So sorry if you hear a lot of background noise. I apologize about that.
Oh wow! So your first set, yeah. See here, in the chat, WD-20s are on the way. First set is already sold out.
Yep. Yeah, it's all gone.
That's
all gone.
Good thing. That's a good thing.
I had 4 of them, and they're all gone already. They didn't even get here yet, and they're sold out.
Already sold out. Yep. I mean, what's the payload on those? I mean, they're 20, so that's what, like 40.
No, it's a little different. Let me get it up here. I'll show everybody.
Don't they go by Newton?
It goes by torque, yeah. So it's
it goes by torque.
Let's see. So and the website isn't that great.
Right.
So I'm waiting on the spec sheets even before they it's a little bit more than the AM5, if I remember right. Once I'm waiting for it to pop up, because it's giving me all these these Chinese kind of warnings.
Dave made a comment. I like using the narrowband normalization to do the SCNR. Gives you a little more control with a live preview. That's something I'll have to take a look at. But that's the crazy thing about this hobby, and looking especially at PIXINSIGHT. There are so many different scripts and modules within that software that not everybody will do things the exact same way, and you're going to end up totally different on your processes and how you approach things. Like for me, I've got basically this entire workflow that I just go through and I kind of stick with it. A lot of things that I've learned, were from Masters of PIXINSIGHT and learning from them, as well as from Sean at invisibledark.ca, and just things also from the web, just looking at different things there. So everything it's relative to the person and how they approach stuff. But as long as you get what you like, that's all that matters.
Yep, exactly.
I would love personally to get back to New Mexico. I want to get back to southern New Mexico myself, and I'd love to even have a chance to. I visited the Cosmic Playground, and with the Cosmic Playground, it's not very RV friendly. It's more, tent style and stuff like that. But man, to have had to go there, and we only, fortunately, we were there only during the day, and it was 3 years ago that I actually went down there. But to see that whole area, I can imagine, because there's absolutely nothing around that space. I mean, it is totally wide open, and you just see a bunch of tents and stuff like that. And to be out there to be imaging, or to just to see the Milky Way, and just to be under the stars under there, it's got to be just absolutely mind blowing. So yeah, so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to talk a bit more, like Dan said, about calibration frames. We're going to take a look at Astral Pixel Processor for those who may not be familiar with Astral Pixel Processor. It is another pre and post processing tool like PIXINSIGHT, but it uses a few different methods to do its integration. It is really well known for doing great work with stitching mosaics together. So, but you can do any type of deep sky object with this. You can do comets with it. You can't do planetary, of course, but like I said, deep sky objects, comets, and mosaics, you can do them really well. What I personally have done a lot with Astral Pixel Processor is do a combination of work with integration, because integration is very easy. With WBBP, it's gotten that way, but it's just as easy within Astral Pixel Processor. I'll show you guys that in a second, as well as we'll talk a bit on how you would calibrate your flats and your bias and your darks, and I'll go through that and show you those things, to show you a few steps that are taken on that. But yeah, so we'll talk about APP. APP is developed by Mabula Haverskamp. He lives, I believe, in South Africa.
Yep.
And it's just a great tool. I was introduced to it first by Stacy Doughton. But now she's married, so this is Stacy Doughton Collins. I can't remember her wife's last name.
Naomi Collins.
Yeah, Naomi Collins. So is it Doughton Collins or Collins Doughton? I'm not sure.
I don't know what they settled on, but
I know they hyphenated it.
Yeah, I'm not sure which way they went.
But yeah, it's but I was first introduced to the software from her, and it seemed very easy to use. Another thing I loved about it was RGB combination, the color combining the color combinations that you can do within it, and to tweak it and to do a lot of different things there. So it's a really, really cool piece of software. You can rent it for, I believe, 50 or 60 bucks a year, or you can actually go ahead and buy it, which I think buying it is just under $200. So it's not very expensive at all compared to everything else that we invest into this hobby. So it's something, if you're looking for something other than PIXINSIGHT, it's a pretty good alternative. But like I said, what I usually do is I will start with Astro Pixel Processor a lot with all of my integration, and then I'll move it into PIXINSIGHT.
Yeah, just so you know, it's a
thing,
$60 rental and 160. This is euros, so $60 rental and 160. So it's about 180 bucks US to buy it. Probably about 67 or 68 to rent it.
Yeah, and that's what I did the first time. Still love the bong when it's done. It cracks me. The first time I did it, I was like, "Whoa!" I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, to get started, to get familiar with it, to rent it, to get familiarized with it before you make that big decision, that's not bad for a year.
And it's a rental for a year. So I mean,
it's for a year.
Yeah,
so
it's
that's
not like
really
90 days. It's a full year.
It's a full year. It's a full year, and it's pretty darn nice. And he's bringing out version 2 very soon. As far as I know, it's been in beta a lot. He's come out with several iterations of beta on 2.0. So I'm looking forward to seeing where the final general release, when it's out of beta. And I'm sure that's going to be coming out sometime this year.
You know, we've been talking about that for a couple of years, like about a year now. And
yeah, I mean,
been trying to get my bull on here
right.
because he keeps on saying that he'll come on after the 2.0 general release is done. It was a while ago.
Yeah, the last one I've got, the one I've got right now, and I'll show everybody, is the beta. It's beta 26. It's beta iteration 26 that I've got right now. So, I mean, for me, when I got into this, bought APP, then I bought I bought APP, then I bought PIXINSIGHT. Couldn't handle PIXINSIGHT for a while. Held on to PIXINSIGHT because we all know the whole Blink story. Held on to that for doing nothing but inspection for about half a year. And then I finally just bit the bullet and I went. And I'll honestly say, going to my first Masters of PIXINSIGHT class is what really got me out of my shell and the nervous, and being so nervous around and being intimidated by PIXINSIGHT. So now I can use it exclusively, or I can bounce back and forth between them.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that you're doing this because I've always had issues with kind of APP, and I just don't use it enough. It's just the I don't know, the user interface is more confusing to me than anything.
Really? Well, let's hop into it. And let's take a quote. Now, we're not going to go through everything.
No.
I'll get us to a certain point, so that way you can everybody can get a little familiar with it. So I'll go ahead and share my screen.
But before we go into that real quick, I just want to throw a shout out to Ben over at the Narrowband channel. Because he came out with a cancer update video that I watched yesterday. He seems like he's doing okay. Considering what he's going through, and he went through the explanation on how his cancer is progressing, and he's planning on being at Cherry Springs in a couple of weeks. So I'm hoping to catch up with him then, and maybe get a picture or something, because he says he's doing better, and hopefully everything works out for him. So our thoughts and prayers are with you, Ben. So
absolutely, thoughts and prayers are definitely with you, Ben. So,
all right.
Let's hop into Astro Pixel Processor.
Go for it. Don't play the bong, please. You'll scare the crap out of me.
No, I turned the bong off, so don't worry. Okay, so what you see right now is I actually did a quick calibrate integration of calibration frames, but we're going to go through basically these lower three.
Okay, I
Okay,
gotta,
so
you gotta, let me see if I can fix your screen a little bit. Half it's cut off again.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
If not, then I can slide it over a little bit and see if that makes it a little bit
Let
easier.
me see if I can do it.
Because we're only going to really focus on just these few here. Like I said, this isn't a full-blown tutorial or process into Astro Pixel Processor.
Oh yeah. I just want to make sure everybody can see what you're talking about. But
Yeah.
that's probably gonna be okay.
Yeah. So right now, everything is done by tabs, and I think I've explained this before, that you have 6 tabs that you go through, and you don't have to necessarily go and check each and every tab, because if you have a routine built in, you can basically go through just the first one, and you can hop from basically between 1 and 6, from 1 to 6, right? But here is where you would select your patterns, which is the patterns are based off of, if you're using the bare matrix, you would select based off of your camera what that would be. Like with ZWO cameras, their pattern is RGGB, and there could be other patterns just based off of what that is. For a monochrome camera, which is what I use, I just leave it at supported. And the algorithm, it basically gives you explanations on everything, just by hovering over. So I won't go through all of this, but I normally keep it at, was using monochrome, I keep it at adaptive airy disk. But if you are, say, using a dual narrowband filter with a one-shot color camera, you can actually go down and select a couple of options here, such as the more common, because when we first came out with the dual narrowband, it was HA and O3. So you can select one of these, if it was color, if you want to do a monochrome version, if you want to extract the hydrogen alpha out of that dual narrowband, or if you want to extract the O3. You can even set to different algorithms for sulfur, strictly for oxygen or nitrogen. It just really depends on your setup and what type of filters you're using and your camera.
Let me ask you a question real quick. Go down to the bottom again where it said you're extracting under the algorithm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So right here. Yep.
When it does that, when it extracts either the HA or O3, does it give you an HaO3 and an HA, or does it give you an HA and an O3? I mean, because you only got 2 channels there. So if you extract the HA, aren't you just...
You'll do it, basically, you're doing it twice. You'll extract one, you do an HA just to get the HA, your HA data, and then you'll do it again if you want to do your O3 data.
No, but I guess my question is, if you're extracting the HA, aren't you just left with O3? So then why would I want to extract O3? Because is it going to be one combined HA O3 and an HA separate, or is it going to be?
It's basically separated. It's just a single HA. There's nothing.
So then, do those 2 things mean the same exact thing if you're only doing a dual band?
Pretty much. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
It's just one is for HA, one for hydrogen alpha.
These are the little things about APP which confuse the crap out of me, though.
Right.
So
and then if you want to do a strictly color dual narrowband, image, you can just keep it at HaO3 color.
Got it.
But yeah, these will be more monochrome. Okay. Now, one thing also is, if you are using a one-shot color camera, you want to force the bare CFA. You want to turn the Force Bear CFA on, and you want to make sure that your pattern is set to whatever pattern you will be using.
Eric, if you want to move
A lot
the
of times,
if you want to move your screen back to the left again, I think I got the zoom
okay,
down.
that's fine. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you do. So that's good. So the other two are basically if you're using a DSLR. If you want to use the camera's white balance and the color and the camera's color matrix, these are if you're using a DSLR. Okay, but if you're using a dedicated camera, one-shot color, you will use this, and if not, then you won't do that. Now comes the point where you load your actual data. So you can select if you have a monochrome camera and you're using multiple filters, you would check the multi-channel filter processing box. If you were doing this over several nights, you have different sessions, you would check multi-session processing as well. Then it's just a matter of entering the DSO's name and then adding in the frame that you have. So for example, if I click on, I'm going to start adding my lights, I would go here, I would click on my lights, go to that particular folder, and then I would select that group. So I'm going to just grab blue here. And then you would select the channel that it is. So I'm going to select blue. Okay. Then after this, then you would choose the session. And if it's just one session, you would just if it's a multi-session, then you would select whatever session it is. But here it's only one session, so I'll just go ahead and just leave it at the only one session. Okay. So now that gives me my number of lights. Then I will add in my flats. If I had darks, I would add in my darks and dark flats respectively, or my bias. Okay. Here, so I've already added in those flats and those bias. If you created in the previously with using APP and created master calibration frames that are using basically you're in the same imaging train and nothing has really changed, and you've already done some processing and integration maybe from a previous night or previous setup previous nights of imaging, you would probably already have masters created, and you can actually then integrate and retrieve those masters and select those masters without having to go through and add in those additional flats, darks, and biases again. You can just go select your those master calibration frames and then continue.
So just a quick question here. So if I'm reading your screen right, I see you have 30 flats loaded.
Yep.
And I see one master flat loaded.
Yeah, because I just integrated those flats, so that's why it's saying a master flat right now.
Got it.
So
normally you wouldn't have that there. That only happens after you. Okay.
Yeah, because as you can see, because I did a calibration of a master flat and a bias.
Got it.
And it also creates a bad pixel map when it's doing its calibrations as well. If you have your bias frames, if you have darks as well, you can build a bad pixel map. But since I already had, I added in my bias frames, it built out a bad pixel map for me. So, and then the bad pixel map, that's a master that I can keep reusing over and over again for, based off of the camera.
Got it.
So now that I have these here, and I can then go to calibrate. Once you have all of your frames loaded, your lights, all of your lights, you have the channel set. If it's a multi-session, you have your sessions loaded. You selected those sessions, everything, and you've got those calibration frames loaded. Then you can go ahead and create your masters under the calibrate tab and then assign them to your lights. So here is where you would go and do that. Let me go to the very top. One cool thing is that now you can actually do an automatic integration of these to create these master calibration frames. It used to be in the past you would there would not be this automatic. This automatic feature came out, I want to say, in version 1.6 or 1.7. But you would have to actually do an average, choose average, median, or a maximum. And if you hover over this, it will explain when you would want to use said choice, either median, average, or max. It would be based off of the number of frames, calibration frames you're adding in. Okay. Now, having everything set to automatic, APP does all the work for you. It'll calculate, and it'll do either a median, or it'll do an average or a max. It really, it would decide on that on its own. But usually it would do either an average or a median integration. Okay. So right now, with the newest versions of APP, you can keep this all the same and just leave them at automatic, and it does a very good job on creating these frames, these calibration files. So here's you create your master bias. If you're using a bias, if you have a bunch of bias, if you have dark flats, you can select that there as well. Your master darks and your master flats. So I usually keep these all at automatic. Because like I said, the software does a very good job. Then with these all set to automatic, it'll also create the bad pixel map for cosmetic correction. Dealing with those hot and cold pixels. But if you wanted to do everything on your own and just get really deep into it, you can work on selecting your kappa levels for cosmetic corrections, create your bad pixel map. Now, the only other things you really need to do is, once you have this set to automatic, is scroll down to this next section. You can choose to create 32-bit masters for whatever reason, or they can be at the same depth as the actual calibration frames. I usually create 32-bit masters. Then you can actually then separate the darks according to exposure time. So if you have lots of different exposure times for your darks, you can either create a one master dark based off of the highest exposure, and that's basically when you're optimizing, or you can separate all of your darks based on their separate exposure times. Then you, of course, check off that you want to create your master calibration frames. And if you want to scale, you would need bias. If you ever do any kind of scaling, you have to have bias frames. Even if you're doing a master, if you want to if you're scaling your master dark flat or your master darks, you have to have a set of bias frames in order to scale. Then, if you want to deal with any type of reduction of amp glow, anything like that, you can go ahead and check this. These are pretty much set by default to go ahead and check off the adaptive pedestal and reducing amp glow, and you can set up any calibration warnings. Finally, once that is done, you can, if you want to keep this in a separate folder, you can set your save directory for your calibration frames into a separate folder, or it'll be in the same folder at the top here. Those calibration frames will be at the very top level. Then you go ahead and you create your masters and assign them to lights. And if you already had masters and you set that up already under tab 1 here, like these are already here, I have a master flat, bias, and bad pixel map. I could basically, in theory, remove these guys, clean these out, by just saying none, and it'll just use these masters. Then I can go ahead and just reassign the masters to my light frames. So, and then what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and do that and let it run. And that's it. It's done. And now it's done. It's assigned those master frames to the lights. Or I can, and then that's it. These others, as far as saving the light frames, you can set these up. Those calibrated from light frames, you can align them, split the channels, whatever you want to do. I personally don't do any of this myself, but you can go in a little bit more detail. And everything, you can hover or put your mouse over each area, and it'll give you a brief explanation on what it will do. So then that way you can make a decision on if you want to do that or not. So here is, if I go to my folder, and I'm going to go to that folder here, and I'll bring it over here really quick. So here are my master calibrated frames. There's my bad pixel map, my master bias. And it gives explanations on the exposure speed, the gain, and the camera. Let me open that up. And its dimensions, as well as the master flat and its exposures and other information here. And these are all basically FITS files. And you can hold on to these and reuse them, as I said, for if you're not going to be changing your imaging train or anything like that. You can actually save these, put them in another folder for your masters, and then go back and just reuse these as you need to. And that's basically it. Then we can move on to the other things, such as analyzing stars, registration, and normalization, and finally integration. But we're not going to hit those. But no, these are the first three tabs, just to get started with. And like I said, for me, it's just basically follow the tabs, do what the tabs tell you to do, and then when you're ready to go, you would go to integrate and scroll down to the bottom there and click integrate. That's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try it again because I don't know. As I see it, I gotta change this back. As I see it being done again, it's like, I don't know. To me, it seems like more work.
It could, for certain people, it does. One thing I will give with PIXINSIGHT and with weighted batch preprocessing, I can go in if I have a directory of files. Say I had all of my files, lights, flats, bias, all that, into one large master folder or one last master directory. I could basically go into WBPP and select directory, select that one directory, and then it'll split off and it'll grab and separate everything, which is, I will admit, that is really nice. And if there are certain things such as if there's certain keywords I need to set up, such as maybe I have set certain sessions, maybe I'm doing a multi-session, or if I'm having, gain, differences, maybe I'm, for my RGB, I'm at a gain 0, and for my others, and then for my narrowband, maybe I'm at unity gain or a higher gain. I can having those keywords there makes it pretty nice too. So, yeah. There are some advantages. It just depends on what works for you.
I think I might just be too lazy for it. I don't know, maybe. That could be it.
Could be it.
Could be it. Nobody, listen. But
yeah. So Tom, yeah. To answer your question, yes. The bad pixel map is nothing more. It's just like cosmetic correction.
Yeah. That's all it is. I mean, and you actually, if you're doing cosmetic correction right in PIXINSIGHT, you're making You can make
Yeah.
bad pixel maps and bad rows and bad columns and all that kind of stuff. You could do that.
Yeah, and like I said, all you really need to do is once you go through the load section and loading your frames and getting that done. All you basically need to do is hop over to integrate. You don't have to do all the other stuff because Mabula has set up so many really cool ways that does everything automatically. All you need to do is load your frames, go to integrate, press integrate, and it goes. That's it. You don't have to go through all the other stuff.
I'll give it a shot again. I just maybe I'm just being like like I was with Nina. Just like
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
change.
change. It is. I mean, that's the way I was with PIXINSIGHT for quite some time until I actually figured out,
Yep.
the workflow and saying, okay, I can kind of get behind this and understand certain things. This was so much easier for me. I can just load my frames, go to integrate, press the button, and not even worry about tabs 2 through 5. So
I'm just trying to think how does it, like, maybe I missed it when you were talking about, because I was having technical problems. When you have multiple nights and multiple calibration frames, let's say if you do flats every night,
mhm.
and you got to do it by session, I know, but I mean, but it's kind of like one of those things. When I look at it, I'm like, oh my god, it's like session one. Does it have grouping keywords like?
No, that's the one thing. It does not have grouping keywords.
Okay.
So that's why you have to select, okay, if you structure your folders in the way that makes most sense to you on how you want to set up it, on how you define every session of lights and calibration frames, put them all in separate folders, and then you would go and you would select each one and say, okay, this group of lights and calibration frames I'm putting in, and then you hit the checkbox for session 1. And then same thing for session 2, and so on and so on. And that way it keeps things separated. And then it would then maximize.
So if the word dark is in the
yeah.
keyword, if the word dark is in the fits header, does it recognize that it's a dark, or do you have to tell it it's a dark?
No, that's a very good question. I believe for me, I actually click on the button that says darks,
Right.
and add my darks.
Okay, so you have
And if
your file structure is image name, then lights, darks, flats, bias, and
flats, exactly.
4 different folders, and you just
Yes.
pointed to that folder later on. I wanted to make
Yes.
sure that people understand how that this kind of works. It's not like when you go, and from what I'm seeing, from what I've seen from many people that do the combination of APP to PIXINSIGHT and moving forward, everyone keeps on telling me that the stacking of APP is a lot more efficient, and in some cases, you actually get better results than PIXINSIGHT. So,
Right.
and if that's the case, that's fine. But I'm just trying to figure out,
The only the only bummer for me is that the image solver script
okay,
doesn't work if you bring in fits files from APP, because the header does change. It does modify the header. The headers do change on the masters. And even if you go into the image solver and put in the information such as this was the target,
yep,
this was the date that I did this in, here's the pixel size, here's the scale, here's the focal length, it still fails to give you an astrometric solution. It doesn't work.
APP.
So when you're taking something from APP and moving it into PIXINSIGHT, so in running,
so you gotta image solve the whole thing all over again.
Yeah, that's the downside. Yeah, because you can't run image solver fails in PIXINSIGHT. The image solver.
So then what's the
will
workaround?
fail.
Because I know a lot of people.
It used to be the copy coordinates. script,
Okay.
but that's been taken out of PIXINSIGHT. But it used to be doing because I used to be able to take the copy coordinates because I would take a light frame, just any light frame that I had of that object of that wasn't just the basic with the bits header,
Right.
and then do a copy coordinates to say copy these coordinates from this original light frame, copy them to the fits header, copy those coordinates into this new master that was from APP. That would work. Then I could do image solving. Then image solver would work. Then I can do my spectrometric photo color calibration. I could do all that stuff. But now, since that copy coordinate script is now debunked from PIXINSIGHT, image solver won't work. So there's not been an effective workaround that I know of to be able to use spectrometric photo color calibration or anything. All you can basically do is use basic color calibration. So,
Unless if you image solve every sub.
Yeah, because like I said, image solver just simply doesn't work on those master lights. So, and I mean, if somebody who's familiar with APP and knows a workaround now since copy coordinates is gone and can get image solver to work on master light that have come from APP into PIXINSIGHT, so you can do that as that spectrometric color calibration or whatever you want to call it. I'm jumbling my words here, but let me know. But so far, there's nothing that I know of that has been able to resolve that problem. So I can do that.
Dave asked maybe if you solve it in NASTAP first, maybe that might help. I don't
know. I haven't really tried.
If you're gonna solve it again, you may as well just do an image solver script over in PIXINSIGHT.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You have that master light that's come out of that master light that's come from the image solver doesn't work.
Got to be a way. Then maybe that's a way to do it. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe ASTAP will be the way to try it. Maybe you can solve it there, and maybe if ASTAP can update the header, so it can give you and drops in the proper RA and declination and gives you that information, so then you can run image solver again.
In APP, I know in PIXINSIGHT, actually it's not even in PIXINSIGHT. Like that's even later. I'm thinking in Nina, you're saving all that information, right, in the fits header anyway. I don't understand what happens in APP that corrupts those coordinates, that it doesn't work.
Yeah. Here, let me do something here. I am going to integrate this blue just so I can show you what it does.
Hi, Patty.
Let me cancel this. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm trying to cancel this, and now it's let me see if it's gonna go ahead. No, it's not gonna do it.
Yeah, why don't you take a look at the fits header before, like in that program that I put out, what was it last week, that F2H fits header editor, the free one. Take a look at it. Take a look at it before you run it through APP, and then take a look at it after and see what it writes to it. And
right, I can take a look.
Yep.
Yeah, I can definitely take a look. See,
you know what I mean. Maybe that's something to kind of think about, because I mean, it's kind of weird that it would just just not work after after coming out
Yeah.
of APP. Something's not being writ to the metadata somewhere along the way, or being corrupted in APP that not working. Is this a problem that Mabula probably is working on, or is this?
I have no idea. I haven't mentioned it or put it into the forum or anything like that, to be honest.
I'm
So
sure somebody has by now.
I'm sure somebody may have figured it out. I just haven't been on the forums or anything like that lately. But it's just one of those things that's kind of okay.
Kind of like
But so far, like I
kind of like
said,
noise reduction.
huh?
Kind of like noise reduction.
Yeah, one of those things. That's APP. Yeah, that's definitely another thing that's missing is noise reduction. There's no way to do that. I mean, the way I did it prior to getting PIXINSIGHT to deal with noise reduction was I would use Lightroom.
Lightroom. Yeah.
And then because Lightroom does have a noise, so here.
So let me ask you a question. You being an APP user, if APP came out with their own noise reduction plugin or whatever the case may be, would you be a solid APP user, or would you still run over to PIXINSIGHT?
I probably still run the PIXINSIGHT because there's so many more things. It's not just that. It's also deconvolution.
Yep.
Explore Exterminator, stuff like that. So there's quite a few things that PIXINSIGHT has. This in the additional scripts that have been created for PIXINSIGHT. If this was this almost, you would almost think of it if we could look at it in an operating system sort of way, like with IT and stuff like that. PIXINSIGHT is more like your Windows or Mac, and APP is more like Linux.
Gotcha.
As far as the the market share, the
Yep.
usability, the people who actually use it and stuff like that. That's what I would say it is.
Gotcha.
Now they are bringing out, Mabula is doing a lot of really cool things to, that I haven't actually really gotten deep into, especially with star analysis, so you can understand, the stars as far as your scoring, the normalizations, the registrations, all those things have gotten better. I just haven't had a chance to go through all of them. Now I do have finally a light here, a master light, and basically I'm just going to just bring this up and grab it, and then I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so here is a master light that I just integrated. This is just the blue channel for M27. So I'm going to grab this out of the folder and I'm going to bring it into PIXINSIGHT here. And so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to go open it. M27 APP. And there is the master light right here. And from here, then I can, if I wanted to, I can do a screen transformation function and stretch it. Now, if I look at the header, so if I go to my process, all processes, and fits header, and I'm going to select that one. It basically it tells you, yes, that this was created by APP, but it does not give any additional information such as your RA deck, things like that. Those are not in here. And I even tried to add them in here based off of a light frame just to copy them in here, and that still did not work. So because
What
if I
what if
went
you
here,
do it in the Fits head instead of doing it in there? There's a Fits header plugin in PIXINSIGHT where you can do was it's under Fits header if I remember right, a Fits header editor, and you can
is
edit
it
the
like a
Fits header
script?
there. Yeah, I think it's in there somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Process. Fits header.
I'm not no. Is it fits key? Not fits keywords.
No.
Must be something else. Because yeah, if I went here and simply did the image solver under image analysis, of course, I would go here, I would do a search, do M27. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that. I will set my focal length, all that stuff, and then click OK. Because this is really, I believe, all I would need to do. And then, yeah, I'm not worried about a date. So say yes. Then it would come up and give you this error to check because these certain coordinates are missing. Because they're not in the header, like the center coordinates. That's one, as well as it can't find these valid star pair matches, things like that. So it would just basically bomb on you. So I'll stop sharing here. And let's take a look at the chat. Let's see. It just worked for me in PIXINSIGHT. Where'd you get the file? So Dave, it says it worked for Dave.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, but
so yeah, unfortunately I haven't, now I do have the old ASTAP, I believe.
so did it just work straight out of APP, or did it? You were able to do like photometric color calibration right from APP.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to do. He's not trying to change it. He wants to see why it's not working for him. So
right. Because if there's a way,
see if you could share your file to Dave through the either Discord or whatever.
Yeah. Solve Asher Mitchell plate solve. Let's see what happens here. See if it's gonna let me update the fits header or not. Then I'm gonna take a look. See. I'm just gonna make this a little different. Oh yeah, it's saying even here it didn't. My old thing it didn't. Solving. Yeah, it came back and even saying no solution found in S5Ep.
No solution found in that too.
Yeah, because I would click on the astrometric solution and click solve, and it would not do it.
I'm going to send
So,
you a link, Eric, real quick. Try this. And this may take a little bit of work.
so like I said, but see, the point is that we shouldn't have to go through this, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Shouldn't be this hard, just to simply try to migrate certain files. Fits for win. I might even have fits for win. Or maybe it's something else that I have. But I'll take a look.
It's a little weird to kind of fix things, but once you get it,
Yeah,
it works. But
it works. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, correct. Once you get it, it's fine.
I agree. You shouldn't have to go through this, and it shouldn't make any changes whatsoever. But
yeah, fits for okay. No, that's what I have. I have fits for win. Yeah, fits for win 2 header data utility. Yeah, that's the one. So I'm wondering if I load. I'm just going to try something here. Using, I think I kind of see what you're saying here, Dan. So I'm going to grab that file. And go here. There. Load files. Add an entry to the plan to update. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, if I loaded this fits header and I had an original fits header, then yeah, I see what you're saying. I can go in and I can use the fits for win and
write your
add
own.
in the.
Just make sure you write. When you take a solved image from PIXINSIGHT, get the index for whatever that says. It says like RA or deck location or whatever it is. Get that title, put in whatever it is, and then write that to the fits header, and see if that works. I mean, it seems kind of weird. Where moderate rain is starting. Yay. Okay.
So yeah, but basically that's when we talk about calibration frames. That's how it's done within within Astro Pixel Processor. It's overall, it's a very easy piece of software to use. And right now, unfortunately, it doesn't seem that it plays nice on everything that with PIXINSIGHT. Now, if I didn't necessarily want to do this spectrometric photo color calibration and just do a standard color calibration,
you wouldn't
then
have to worry about
sure everything else, I wouldn't have to worry about any of this.
Yep.
I can move on and stuff like that. It's just that those couple of processes that make this a bit of a pain. But other than that, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get into PIXINSIGHT a little bit at a later date once I get some get some data, I guess.
Yeah.
Probably next week.
So yeah, so right now we are in the middle of we're at the end of Galaxy season, and now we're getting into the summer nebula, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm actually been looking at my planner, my Charles Bracken astronomy planner. Try to look at, okay, we're at the end of May, start of June. What's going to be the visibility of a few things? So I'm trying to decide on, based off of using the Edge 8, keeping in mind of that scale, and being at 1400 millimeter of focal length, what's going to be a good choice? Because I've just done M81, and I haven't done M82 yet, but I have done M81. I haven't, because with the 533, unless I do a mosaic, I can't put them on the same frame. So I'll have to do a mosaic if I'm going to do something like that, but I'm not interested in doing mosaics right now. So I'm probably going to have to target just M82 on its own and do something like that, or look at some other options here of choices for this time of year. And let me see if I can zoom in on this.
Yeah, there's a bunch of mission
Okay.
targets later at night. You definitely gotta wait till after midnight for those nebulas.
You will have, yes.
Yeah, you gotta wait for, if you want to start at midnight and go till 4:30, you can. But or you could just wait for a month or two and then they'll start a little earlier. So,
Yeah. Now, the one thing that I am trying to figure out, and at some point, it's going to be probably my next project for my pod, is to probably build a pod zenith table.
Oh yeah, but you can still get them.
Yeah, they don't have everything right now. They do have the quick release handle. I mean,
Yep.
Wayne does have the quick release handles. I would probably try to build everything else up. And I'm thinking I might want to use aluminum, to build the frame out, and then try to find some type of good base for the pod, for the clamshell for the pod to the top to slide onto. So that way, then I can be able to grab everything and then move everything back. I mean, so it'll be a bit of an investment, but I think it'll be worth it to do this. I think it was, it's that the aluminum, it's like T slot aluminum.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. That a lot of hobbyists use this type of aluminum, where it has the slots in it where you can then merge pieces of aluminum together. And a lot of hobbyists use it for projects and stuff, like you can build frames and all these things. And then, so I'm looking at, I'll probably look to doing something like that. You can get slightly larger slotted T-slot type aluminum frames to hold a considerable amount of weight, right? And then you just basically put them together. Then I'll find a certain platform. Maybe I'm looking at some sort of marine style or hard plastic, something that can be easily cleaned and not damaged or necessarily won't warp, right? That's why I want to go with aluminum, because aluminum, it won't warp on me. And then I can then secure the plastic on top and make it nice so it's smooth enough that I can slide the top on and do that.
And just make sure it's easy enough to get back on too, because just because you get it off, it's got to be that nice. It's got to be level enough that way it doesn't do a drop. Because if that drops, if that drops 1 millimeter, you're done.
You're done. Exactly. So it's got to be precise. It's got to be precise. So,
I think this spring, somebody brought it up in the chat. That's what I want to do. I haven't even put it up yet because I didn't even like it. But I did. I spent about 20 hours on NGC 7000 last year, and I got a decent picture. But it was before I got the 3 nanometer narrowband filters. So I forget what star it is. The star, that big bright one at NGC 7000. Big blaring halo right around it, and because I was using the 7 nanometer filters. And I want to redo it again. I want to redo it again with the 3s, and I expect to get a lot better.
Now, this time of year, because I love a challenge. The snake in the pipe,
Sure.
dark nebula,
Yep.
are out. I just need to figure the best spot and see if we'll see where they are. If they're more south, then I guess check the altitude and maybe I might go for them. The cool thing about dark nebulae is you aren't exactly you just pray sometimes, okay, I gotta trust my plate solving because I can't see a darn thing.
Yeah, I haven't even like put together my Barnard Z or my snake. I mean, I haven't done either one yet. I've got plenty of data on it from my trips at last summer, and I haven't done anything with it. I haven't done anything with it. You know.
So it's one of those that oh, Chris is doing the dark seahorse. There's
Yeah,
another
I
good
did that. That's on my
one.
Astrobin. My Dark Seahorse is on that. That one I did.
Okay. So I mean, that's one of the things I love a challenge, and I still haven't perfected my dark shark. The dark shark is one of those. It's been like my unicorn
Yeah,
because everybody else can get it, and then I haven't.
you got to go. You got to go more south. You got to go to like Georgia or something to kind of so it's high enough that it's because right now at our latitude, I mean, it only gets to about 40 maybe at max.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
pretty low.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
low. So I
relatively
mean,
low.
not many people want to even image under 35. So I mean, what do you get? You get like 2 hours, maybe an hour a night, and it's very blue.
Yes.
So it's going to be very weird. So you want to go somewhere more southerly, and so that it gets a little higher in the sky. So even if you go to like somewhere in the middle for you, I guess, whatever, Kansas or
Yeah, something like
something like
that.
that.
Exactly.
Get there, just sit there and get it up higher in the sky so you have more time to do it.
Yep. So let's see here. So yeah, so that's so maybe I do want to go after some dark nebulae. So
So let's
it's
see if I get mine up there.
I just need to find the right
I hate
time.
they do this now with Astrobin. They give me a damn token.
Yeah, yep. You have tokens.
Why can't they just give me like, an authenticator? Yeah, so I'll show this to Chris. I don't know if you guys he's ever seen it, but there's my
Yeah,
Dark Seahorse.
there you go. So yeah, there's your dark seahorse. So
That's
no, that was a good shot, man. That was
yeah,
a good shot.
it's only an hour and a half. It's only an hour and a half from from what, Nebraska,
Hmm.
yeah,
So right
Valentine,
now,
Nebraska.
if I'm looking at this, and because if I'm looking at the M13 is an option. So I'm looking at the snake in the pipe. So here we have the snake in the pipe nebulae, B72. And so it is south. And what it looks like, so there it is. And the best times, as far as time of the year, it's right now. It's like if I look at 2024, it's in June. It's like right now.
Yep.
It's its peak time. But the only time, I'm only going to be able to squeeze if I'm lucky 3 hours a night. So
Yep.
it just depends. Um, and yeah, so at some point, we have been talking about moving south, and if we do move south, then it'll be a lot better for me. It'll be a lot higher in the sky because I'll
Nice.
be at that much, that latitude will be a much higher latitude, and then I could be in like in the 60s or something, or wherever Georgia is.
Oh, excuse me.
So yeah, because everything right now, it's even if I look at the Trifid here, M20, which is
Trifid's
another
low for you
target,
too.
it's low. I mean, I can get it, but it is low.
Yeah, but
Like,
what's
you
the
can only,
highest it
but
goes? That's got to be like in under 40 as well.
yeah, I'd have to take a look, see in let me see here. We did. If I go to my Nina computer, I'll be able to tell you really quick. And go to framing and M20. Let it load. Where's this thing loading? There we go. Yeah, see, that is super, super low.
Yeah. So what's the high?
My highest is it's just at 25 degrees.
Oh, it's even that low. Jeez. Okay.
It's that low. It's that low.
That is not a fun area to shoot.
That is no. It is, that would not be a fun one to even consider to go after. This one may not even be fun too. The snake, I mean,
Hey, George Lutch bounced in. How you doing, George?
Bernard 72 loaded. So it's just certain ones that, you really, especially at the South. Nope, it's not even worth it.
Yep.
No, that's not even going to be worth it. It's at 24 degrees. I mean, I'm barely breaking the atmosphere, that atmospheric barrier according to Sky Tools and everything, and it's so low, it's just barely getting over my house. So, nope, those won't be on my until I move.
Or until you go to a star party again or something like that.
Or so I go to a Southern Star Party. Yeah,
Yep.
maybe, like I say, if I go to Okie-Tex,
Yep.
something like that, then it'll be worth it. But no, other than that, no. It just is what it is. So I probably am going to be keeping an eye on, targets like maybe towards the north.
Yep.
That's where I usually get a lot of good stuff, is usually in the north, because if I hit the south, especially where I'm at, it's not very good. It's usually in the north where I usually get most of my images at, north or southeast, just before.
The north is where I get all my telephone wires and stuff.
Yes, we get all your telephone wires.
So I was sitting there. Let me see if my Eagle is on, actually.
Need to get someone from my Astro Club to mentor me on Nina.
Oh, we can help.
As far as George, yeah, definitely, we can help you.
George, we can help you out. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
So. 529. Look at this. 529. Here you go. I actually did some test imaging last night to see if my telescope actually still worked.
Okay.
And you'll see what I'm saying in a second. And it didn't turn out to be so bad, considering I was only doing like 1 minute shots, whatever, just trying to see if things are kind of still working. But there you go. So that's, now you could see.
Okay. 81 and 82.
Well,
Yep.
you could see how dark it is right in the top right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm shooting in between telephone wires here. So that's the telephone
Yeah.
wire here.
That's the telephone wire.
Yeah, so if I open up another one, let's see if I go earlier in the night, um, 5:28. Let's try about here. See what this is like.
So
Oh,
George,
there's a
two ring
telephone
light.
wire right here. Now
Yep.
there's another one. So this is what I deal with in the north. This is the
Mhm.
type you literally I could probably do like pull-ups on if I wouldn't get killed off the telephone wires. It's so bad in the north. So all I get is the east and the southeast. That's all I pretty much get. I gotta redo my Nina custom horizon again, but
Okay.
I got to start doing that again because I got to redo it because people's houses have changed and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
So I'm probably going to be breaking out in getting Stellarium opened up and trying to settle on some targets because I don't like wasting nights if I can.
I hear you. All right.
So that's I want to know what everybody else is going after. Definitely share what you guys are doing. Give me some ideas. What can I do with my Edge 8 with an 8-inch Schmidt? What can I grab? Deep sky objects. Now that we're out of galaxy season, because at some point I am
You
going to
grab
have
quite
to
a bit, man.
get a refractor. Oh, I know I can. I know I
You got a
can.
lot
It's
of focal
just
length, man.
just what can I fill my 533? What can fill that sensor? So that's the big thing.
533. So what about? Oh, you already have an Eagle, so. Yeah, why not? Yeah, 63, 64. Do that.
M63, M64.
Yep.
Yeah.
What? Do you have a good cocoon?
It's been a while since I've done the cocoon. And
Yeah.
it's been a while since I've done the cave and stuff like that. So
I got to do
yeah.
all that. I want to do all that this year. I just got to get comfortable with Nina again. It's been so long. I got to rewire everything because all my stuff is screwed up because I'm testing other equipment and I'm doing other stuff. Anything other than imaging, it's just horrible. I need another peer mount where I could just use one for testing and you know, one for me. So what do we got next week? What,
So
Wednesday?
well, the elephant trunk's out.
Elephant trunks out. Yeah, you could do that.
I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do the front of the elephant trunk. So yeah, I'm just looking at solarium right here. So that and I haven't actually done the elephant trunk.
Oh, there you go.
So there's one, and cocoon. Definitely. And there's quite a few options here. I'm not going to be without options. That's for sure. It's just gotta make sure I've got to fast forward to see if I'm gonna have any issues, and it doesn't look like it. So, yep, there's the double cluster, which is going to be
It's gonna
coming
be low.
out.
Yeah, it's gonna be
It's
low.
going to be low.
You gotta wait a little
Yep.
bit for that. Anyone thinking about getting the Pegasus Powerbox Advanced saddle? Um, Actually, George, I don't have a need for it because I use my Eagle on top, so I really don't have a need kind of for it. So if you don't and you're running other stuff and you need that kind of stuff, then yeah, get it. It's pretty cool. I was seeing a lot of people using it. So I'm still waiting to see on Pete Meyer's little collaboration with those encoder guys that are fixing up his Pegasus. So I'm still waiting on the results of that. All right.
So
So next week we go Wednesday. We got gradients. We're going to be talking about right on
yes,
PIXINSIGHT. We're going to be talking about
yep.
Graxpert, DBE, ABE,
DBE, ABE, and DBE, yep.
and if you want to take,
And
I
why
don't
do
know.
do you really need them anymore? Do you really need them?
Yes, yes, you need them.
That's just my opinion. I don't use them.
You don't use any. You don't use any. You don't use any gradient.
I use Graxpert.
Oh,
I don't use
oh,
ABB, AB or BB or DBE. I use Graxpert or I use Gradient Remover. That
I
process.
tried that, and I was not a fan of that. With
I'm not the biggest fan of it myself. That's
Yeah.
why I stick with Graxpert.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna try a bunch of them. We'll do a different kind of thing, and I don't know what APP has as far as gradient removal, but maybe
It
if you
does.
want,
It does have a pretty. It's not a bad gradient removal tool. It's
maybe you want to
that
show
it does
that
have.
on a couple of
Yeah, I
subs,
can definitely
maybe.
show that. Yep,
Right?
I can
And
show that.
how we looking with the picture of the week? Is that gonna be up tomorrow or?
Yeah, I'll have it. I'll work on it tonight to get it up, and it'll be ready to go. So by let's give me a couple hours.
Yeah, no,
It'll be fine.
yeah, I'm passing out over here. I've had a rough day, so I mean, I'm just really
Yep.
tired.
No, we've both had rough days. This may be an early show, so forgive us, guys.
It's not an
I
early
hope you
show.
guys
It's
understand.
9:45. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's right. That's true.
We've been on for almost 2 hours. What are you talking about?
You know what? Sorry, it's my I'm off. I'm still I'm still getting used to all of that's doing this a little differently. So, but no, it's but do us a favor, guys. If you continue to give us a thumbs up, like the show. We are going to be keeping to work on new stuff, so don't worry about that. We are, it's just one of those days,
Yep,
It's one of
I
those
hear
days.
you. I hear you, man.
Forgive us.
Uh,
It
yeah,
happens every once in a while.
it does. It does. All right, fellas, ladies, and gents. I think it's time to call it a night. I think I need a glass of wine or something and go to bed because I'm just exhausted. But I apologize
All
about
right.
it if it's not the normal upbeat show that we've had. But it's been a long week with the both of us.
Yeah,
Um,
it's been that way.
and I'm on vacation. I really shouldn't be here. So I shouldn't be like this. I should be awake. But I've been getting up at 6 still, no matter what. So, but
Yeah.
um, everybody, listen. Have a great night. Eric, final thoughts? Yes.
No, again, we'll be probably much better on Friday.
Yeah, we will
Don't
be. We
forget,
will be.
get ready. Don't get ready. It'll be ready in a couple hours. The image of the week, the new entries will be out there. We've got, I want to say 4, maybe 5 new entries.
Yeah, I
5
saw that.
entries out here. So we should have some good choices here for you guys. So don't forget to vote for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And just enjoy the night. If you have some clear skies, get out there and image. Get out there and image.
Ooh, Thursday.
You know what?
Thursday night.
Summertime, shorter.
Thursday night looks
There you
blue.
go. There you
Oh
go.
my goodness. And Friday night looks blue. Oh my goodness.
See, that's what I'm going for now. It's so for me,
Yep.
it's my Wednesday and Thursday.
And
So
for me, it's Thursday, Friday. There
Friday.
you go. Keep on pushing it this
So
way.
you may, So
Hopefully,
I'll keep
I can
moving
get
it
my
towards your
Eagles.
way.
Yeah. Anyway, everybody, have a great night. Thanks for watching, and don't forget Friday night we're going to be talking about gradient removal in your your photos from APP and PIXINSIGHT with a number of different processes that's out there, including AB, DB, Graxpert, and all that. So great having everybody. Great seeing everybody. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Ben and his family. And
Absolutely,
you know,
always.
you know, hang in there, buddy. We're all rooting for you. And you know what? If anybody is wants to donate to him, you can through his channel to help him out because obviously he's not working as much as he was able to before. And if you want to give a donation to him, feel free to give one to him on his YouTube channel. A lot of people doing it. So,
Yeah.
anyway, have a great night, everybody. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you on Friday night. Remember, as always, to keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And we'll see you Friday.
See you, everybody.